Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok. On with the show.
RIP to 2024.
Okay, welcome to this week's episode. The original plan was to shoot a episode about TikTok ban, but fortunately that's not happening now, I guess. And so, but fortunately for us, JMPforce is shooting everyone's headshots today, so I get to talk to all my favorite creators and some great friends that are just going to sit in and we're just going to chat whenever people are free and want to say anything. So that's it. First guests are Sophia and Talia. BFFs.
Yeah.
Legendary stuff. Tals was actually on the last episode and crushed it as usual.
I don't know how many podcast episodes I've been on.
She's been on a lot, but I always learn something from it, and you're just such a great guest, and always happy to have you back.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me again.
So let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first? The TikTok ban itself? So the 12 hours of hell?
Yeah, I actually barely remember them, to be honest. Everyone's talking about like, oh, TikTok could be going away. How do you feel about it? But I feel like no one really understands, because I feel like a lot of creators in this space, it's like an outlet for them, but it's not the outlet. You know, like a lot of people got their start on Instagram. But for me, that's where I got my start. That's how I kind of like found my way into this community and how I met all of you. And that's how I built my business. Like I am known as like the TikTok girl. And so for that to go away was not only kind of like an identity crisis, but it's also a financial crisis, because I specialize in running TikTok accounts. Like that's what Sophia and I do. Like that's the whole reason why I hired her, is because I had so many accounts. I didn't have the time to like do it all myself. I needed help, shooting personal content for my TikTok account. And then that's how I grew my Instagram, was because I just started on TikTok. And so people were like, oh, I don't care if it stays. I don't care if it goes, whatever. But like they say that in front of me, and I know they don't mean any offense to it. But I mean, it hurts a little bit, because like if it weren't for that app, I would not know literally any of you. And like that's like, I'm gonna say it's like 90% of my income. That's like several TikTok accounts. That's my creator fund. That's also a lot of the like ways that people like know me, if that makes sense. So I would be out and about, and I was just telling Sophia, like, imagine it did go away, and then I'm out and about, and someone walks up and they go, "Hi, are you the TikToker?" Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that doesn't exist. Were you the TikTok girl? Like, that's such a shift, and I don't know how I would be able to deal with that. And it's not like we have a permanent fix right now. It's only just been extended, and we don't know what the total outcome is going to be. Sorry, I just yapped a lot.
No, it's okay. No,
That's what you're here for.
Yeah, I think that when I heard that TikTok was going away, I was like in denial about it, and I was just kind of like, there's literally nothing that we can do about it, right? Like we've said our piece. We've all been on the news. All three of us have been on the news about it. I've called representatives about it. I feel like I've done the most that I can do to make sure that my voice is heard. But it does, like how Talia was saying, that it is really disappointing to hear people say like, oh, well, something else will pop up. And it's like, okay, yeah, something else might pop up, but like, this is my income now. Like this is how I pay my bills now. I can't wait for something else to pop up and, hopefully be able to monetize from that and grow and get to the place that I am now.
I think it's hard for a lot of people to believe that we make as much money as we do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if they're uninformed specifically, I mean, of course, they're just going to say whatever and have no idea.
Absolutely.
I think, yeah.
No, it's like really jarring, because I don't know. It's like a lot of people being like, oh, well, I mean, you make money from it. I'm like, no, like that's how I make money. It's not just I make money. It's like, that's how I pay my rent. Like, I'm 100% like financially independent. And also I have Sophia on payroll. So it's like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean?
That would be a tough conversation.
Right.
No, we talked, no, what was it, gone for 15 hours or something like that?
Yeah.
We were celebrating my birthday on the record.
Oh, that's right.
That night that it went dark, and we completely crashed out at like 1:30 in the morning, just like,
Girl, it was later than that.
oh yeah, maybe, I don't know.
I think we got home around 3.
Yeah. something
Nice.
Like that. But it was, no, we were like crashing out in the
the club.
Yeah, in the booth that we had. And like the friends around us were just kind of like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And Talia and I were like, we don't know how we're going to pay our bills. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start selling my feet pics on the internet. Like,
Was that going to be the plan? Like, what other alternatives? Say, okay, so all social media went away.
All?
Yeah, let's just say that. All the apps crashed. Trump does whatever.
yeah.
I mean, what kind of job?
Okay, so I will say that, so I have a master's
Oh, yes. Master's in,
nonprofit management.
okay.
Yeah, I have a master's in nonprofit management. I have a bachelor's degree in international relations. I really, when I started school, I wanted to work for the government, basically. I wanted to help people as much as I could. And I think that if all social media went away, I would probably lean more into that. I mean, I still do that. And what's so cool about my job now is that, by the way, I have my own business. I finally got like my LLC license.
Congrats.
Thank you. So I have like my own clients that I do like social media marketing for, but I also do grant writing. And so this job is allowing me to balance both, and I don't have to lean so heavily into, making sure that nonprofits are paying me a sufficient amount for me to live. I can do it out of the goodness of my heart or for less, because I have this other source.
That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So I would probably like lean more into that.
So Sophia's set.
I know.
Me though, I don't know. No, okay. So, I did go to school. I don't have a master's, but I have a bachelor's in hospitality management, and I feel like that kind of does have some overlap with what I do. I feel like I do hospitality marketing right now, and with the 4 going on 5 years that I've been doing this, I've made enough connections to where I feel like if everything were to go away, I probably would just go the traditional marketing route, and I would just like ask my connections, hey, looking for any work, looking for any consulting work. Like, I just have a feeling that it would just still be okay. It wouldn't be like 100% smooth transition, but you never know. Like, things just have an odd way of working out.
That's true.
What about you?
Yeah, Phil, what would you do?
I've always been in sales and marketing, turning nothing into something. So I think I just go back to that, just BSing my way through life, I guess.
You know what? Can you teach me your ways? Can I follow you around for a day?
Yeah. It's all about reading people and just getting a feel and connecting as soon as possible. That was the biggest thing for me.
It's so funny. We like a little bit off topic, but I actually really struggle with social anxiety. And people don't realize it because, I'm bubbly when I'm around people that I'm comfortable with. But if I'm out and about, Sophia knows. Like, when we first started working together, her mom asked her, hey, like, how is it working with Talia? And she went, just say it.
Okay, so when I went to a shoot with Talia, and she didn't really need me to, like, do anything. She didn't need me to hold a light. I was doing a little bit of hand modeling. But what she mostly had me do was ask for napkins or, like, silverware, or just, like, ask the staff for, like, things that she needed because she had so much social anxiety. And so I told my mom, like, I think I'm just there to help her cope with her social anxiety. Like, I think that she's
A partner in crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
I could see that.
It works. It works
out.
great. It really does. So we didn't know each other prior to this. If it weren't for TikTok, we literally would not know each other. She just saw a video of mine on her For You page. I said, like, half joking, yeah, I have a really busy life. I kind of need an assistant. And she took that chance, messaged me, and here we are, going on 3 years later.
It was fate.
Really? No, I
sure.
quite literally like met another sister. It's insane.
That's awesome. Sophia is actually one of the best known vegans in town on social media.
That's true.
That's
True. It's true. I don't know who else now in Vegas. Like, I don't know anyone that does good vegan
You don't live here.
Yeah,
content. Yeah, Diana. But what would you say? Can you give me 3 great plant-based restaurants people should try?
Okay. I think that Chef Kenny's is one of the best ones here in Vegas. Tarantino's. And that's not a biased opinion.
Shameless plug.
No.
Italian. Okay, I figured you ran the social. I was going to ask.
Yeah. No, I do, but they are very sweet, and they're actually they're really good.
They're good.
It's really good food.
They're good.
So Chef Kenny's, Tarantino's, and I would say Tacotarian. They're making huge strides within the restaurant industry in general. They're opening up in like the Miracle Mile shops.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to be like the first like casual plant-based restaurant on the Strip.
That's amazing.
And that's going to be happening soon. So I'm so happy to see that, especially with so many restaurants, so many vegan restaurants closing down within the last few years. Like it's really, really sad to see. But, doing our best to try to keep them
We need more
alive.
amplification on plant-based restaurants.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tagotarian is amazing. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of them. I ran into Chef Donald during the Harris Walls rally. What do I do with my t-shirt anyway? I don't know what to do. But anyway, so yeah, he's just kind of ex-veganation. He's just kind of doing his own thing. And hopefully he comes back because he was a wizard at vegan food as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that like the stigma around veganism, which I'll admit is like sometimes deserved. Like I feel like there's like really intense vegans that make veganism feel like a cult or make it feel like, you're being villainized if you don't believe in the same thing. So I think that it's really important if a vegan restaurant wants to survive, like they're going to one, have good food, not just for being good vegan food, but just good food in general, and two, to be more like welcoming to people who are just curious about it and not willing or not ready to like fully go over into veganism if they ever are, and I think that is why I was saying earlier that I didn't know if I wanted veganism to be like my entire identity online, is because I don't villainize people for not being vegan, and I think it's important not to. Like, it's a lifestyle and it works for me, and I think that's okay.
Because I'm not vegan. And we're best friends.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, no, she's never, ever, ever, ever made me feel like any type of way for wanting anything. Like, also there's like just sometimes where I straight up like, it's not that I like forget, but it's more like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't realize that I would be like making something that could, smell up my apartment and like you're working in there. Like that's just something that I've actually learned a lot of, like, being best friends with someone who is vegan and like, realizing, oh my gosh, like there's only one thing you could eat, or like say we go out. That's also another thing, is like when we go out to eat, we have pizza, we have hot dogs, we have everything. For her, it's like French fries, and like, it's the oil is still used for everything else. So it's like, pick your battles. And I realized like, dang, like there really isn't much, representation, or like say there's a trendy restaurant, like there's not much trendy food, you know what I mean? Like they don't have fat babies. They don't have like cheese pulls that are like 3 feet long and stuff, So being a vegan foodie, I feel like you're kind of given a different set of tools that you have to work with in order to catch up with just, people who eat more conventional,
100%.
Yeah, it's different.
I feel like that is the hardest part about like trying to market like a vegan restaurant, because obviously like if the vegan restaurant had something that was like, like a loaded fries with like a crazy cheese pull, or like the desserts were like fluffy and, and I think that vegan food has come a long way, but it takes a lot of talent, I think, from the chef to really make the food like look good and taste good, right? So I feel like that's like the hardest part. Like you were saying, like being like a vegan foodie, like, I can show you the vegan options, but like, is that going to look appetizing for somebody who isn't vegan? They're like, that's a flat piece of bread there.
Right. With seitan and vegan cheese.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
That looks like cartoon bacon.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Like, that chicken looks like cardboard. Like,
Yeah, so inevitably, any vegan restaurant that is going to be successful, they need to attract regular eaters that just have a regular diet. But it's tough.
You should open a restaurant where half the menu is like, conventional, and then the other half can be completely vegan. Kind of like, how Skinny Fats has a happy and healthy side, but it's literally just like a menu item one way, but you can literally get it exactly plant-based the same way.
there's a lot of restaurants that do that.
Oh, never mind. I'm unoriginal.
Like a heaven and hell kind of thing? Okay.
Well, I don't think that they call it that, but there was this restaurant. It was called like Poncho's Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
And they're now
Charleston.
called like, yes, and they're now called like Dos Amigos, and they do the same thing. They have like a conventional like Mexican food side and then like a vegan side for basically every menu item. Good Morning Kitchen also does a really good like vegan menu. They're not fully vegan, but their food is really good, and yeah, they do have a lot.
I heard that. My wife has been veganish the last year or so. She goes to Good Morning Kitchen with her vegan friends, and I heard good things.
Oh yeah,
It's
a
really
great
good.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so nice to go to a restaurant where she has more than one option.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like a dick to be honest. I'm like, sorry, girl, there's one thing. I hope you're hungry.
Well, and like the thing is that like working in restaurants and stuff, I think that chefs are really accommodating to me. Like when I show up with my foodie friends, you know, and they're like, "Oh, what would you like?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm vegan," and they're like, "Oh, well, why don't I make you something off menu?" You know, and I think that that's like for me, like that's such a sweet gesture. Like, and I'll always accept it. But I also kind of like, you know, like
Not everyone gets that.
Yeah, like not everyone gets
True,
that, you
true.
know, that dining experience. And it would be kind of cool if more chefs were like open to stuff like that. But I also understand that it's hard, you know, like it's hard to accommodate 5 vegans a month, right?
Yeah, certain kitchens just aren't built that way
Right, yeah.
to properly prepare everything.
Exactly.
But yeah, the same fryer thing. Yeah, I've been there in the back, and I'm like, this is a vegan order. What are you guys doing?
And I'm like, and also a lot of people don't even know. Like, wait, well, you went to a curry place and you're like, oh, is the curry vegan? They're like, yeah, there's fish sauce in it. She's like, never mind.
yeah. They're like, yeah, I think it is vegan. I only use like chicken powder and fish sauce. I was like, that's okay.
Yeah, that sounds like an old school mom saying
Yeah.
that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else has been going on? New Year's, did you guys do anything?
I ran away from Vegas for 3 weeks and
That's
I loved
right.
it. I loved everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so honest. So my family relocated to Washington, and it was my first holiday over there. And I had to stay there for house sitting reasons and the holidays. And then with timing, it just kind of worked out that way. And so it totaled up to be 22 days. And I've never been away from Vegas for that long, ever since I was like in college for like summer break,
Oh, wow.
you know? And also now I have such an established life in Vegas. That was actually a little nerve wracking for me to be so far and out of the loop, and it's like almost you get really bad FOMO sometimes, you know, like say because we're gonna go to Japan for like 3 weeks, and that's gonna be like a whole other thing. We're gonna be on the other side of the world, and we're gonna open up our phones, and we're gonna see new grand openings. We're gonna see new partnership.
Who
new
cares? Come on,
opportunities.
you're in Japan. Whatever.
Okay, real fair enough. But
don't
now
care.
imagine you're just in the middle of nowhere, Washington, and then you open
What,
up.
blowing up cider places that don't have anyone working there.
Oh, we can talk. We can talk about that. I'm actually trying to change up my content a lot more. Like, so actually, a lot of it comes from the last time I was on your podcast. So, you know, you, Drew, and Jen were all extremely supportive of me trying to like go in a different direction. And I decided, you know what, like, I need to, you know, put up or shut up. Like, I keep complaining about it. Why don't I just do it and just see what happens? So when I was out in Washington and I was house sitting, luckily my grandparents and I have extended family that live in Washington as well now, and they wanted to see me. As I'm driving there, I passed by this like apple cider barn on the side of the freeway, and I love apple cider, and I just was like, dink. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but when I'm coming home, like on the way back, I'm gonna stop there. And I really want to start talking to the camera because I am able to show my personality through voiceover, but I feel like you have a different type of like, you know, connection when you're talking straight to the camera. So I was like, this is it. I'm gonna do it. Who cares? Who cares if no one cares? Totally, who cares if no one cares? Like, that's literally what I was trying to say. I'm like, if you like it, then just do it. And also, mind you, this population, like, of the town that I was in is 9,000. So, like, at most, if 100% of the people of this town saw it, it'd be 9,000 people. So I'm like, I don't care, you know? And so I just get out and I have no idea what to say. Because I do voiceovers, you know? And when this camera's pointed at me, I just froze. I was like, and I literally was like, I like cider. I like Barnes. Let's go check it out.
But that was like
It was great though.
such an authentic reaction. Like I spend every single day. Like we spend every single day together. Yeah.
And when we're not together, I'm texting her.
Yeah.
I'm texting her.
No, literally, like her being gone was so hard for both of us. But it was good for her. But when I saw her cider
Only
video,
her?
yeah. I mean, I missed her so much. I literally missed her so much. But when I saw her cider video, I was like, this is Talia. Like this is not Talz _ like this is Talia. Because that's exactly like the type of thing that like we would do. You know, like when we're traveling together, like we would just stop on like the side of the road. Like, you want to stop? yeah, you know, like that's, yeah. So I thought that was really cool to see.
I thought it felt really natural.
Yeah.
And it didn't come off as awkward at all. It just came off as you.
That means so much. And now it's like I got so much confidence because that video did so well, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
I was like, well, how do I translate that into like my content now? Like, how do I turn that into like, you know, Vegas content? And I want that same authenticity. But it's really nerve wracking because like, now my friends are around me and they all saw the cider video and they're like, oh, are you gonna do it? I'm like, I don't even know what I did. Like, I don't know. And I was actually like kind of like freaking out to Sophia being like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, you just need to just breathe and not think about it so hard because that's when it happens. And I'm like, you're right. So we're going to go to Fukuya and just make a organic video. And because I want to redo it. And I want to do it in that style. And it's way more genuine because I just have a huge fascination and appreciation for like Japanese markets and convenience stores. And it's hard for me to convey that through manicured shots. You know, I want them to hear my excitement or hear my curiosity and like I want to try it and just be me. I'm so like ready to just be me.
I love it. Several people in corporate America were telling me they only look at influencers that will speak to the camera, not in a voiceover style, but talking directly to the camera, even if it's for a couple of bits. They don't consider a lot of the voiceover accounts anymore for brand deals, which is pretty interesting.
Whoa, actually, that makes sense because I I got passed up for a opportunity with like Domino's, and I saw who they did choose, and they were all talking to the camera, and they were all like sitting in the car too. It was a very like organic, like, you know, person to person. I'm surprised for such a big company. That's like the style they saw, they approved, and they said post it, and they put money behind it to boost it nationally. So I'm like, okay, like. This is where the course of things are going, and at least I'm gonna probably follow along in that route as well. Just a little bit.
Awesome. Is there an alternative to the car? I don't know if I want to do the car.
Oh my God, I hope so. No, I'm not someone who like likes to eat in my car. But I think that, I mean, you know, Keith Lee style, right? Like in like the little chair with like the little table, or just like, you know, at your own kitchen table or counter or something. I don't know. There is something about like the car aesthetic that like is very.
It's really caught on. It's crazy how many huge accounts there are based out of the car.
And I'm like, I thought about that, but I don't want to shoot in my car all the time per se because I feel like I'm just doing what everyone else is doing.
You also have a very nice car. You don't want to ruin the interior.
Oh my gosh, it's
having
okay.
it smell like bacon grease.
It's vegan leather. It'll survive. It'll just wipe right off. But I mean, I'm willing to do it in the restaurant. I just have to break past that little like mental barrier of like other people seeing me. Because I mean, and when I'm in restaurants and I'm doing cheese bowls, I'll stand on the table. You know, like I'll do what I gotta do. But for some reason, when it comes to talking to the camera, I'm like, I don't know.
True.
I don't know. Yeah.
Norm is the queen of this, by the way. To like just take after take, whatever, just keep going.
Yeah, actually,
pretty
Norma,
amazing.
I'm gonna hit you up, girl. Let's
Yeah.
hang out soon.
Total confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that like it's gonna come with time though, and I mean Talia's content, like, and I feel like I can say this because I hang out with her so much, but like her content is authentic. Like her, like who she is online is exactly who she is when she's, you know, in front of you. So it's gonna be really exciting to see kind of like where like talking to the camera and like her new style kind of develops.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I don't.
No pressure at all. No pressure at all. All right, I'm just going to talk to Tony because I don't know who else is coming. Ola Gato, who's been on the podcast several times, some really big episodes, including, last time was the viral one, right?
It was the places in Vegas, like areas, Summerlin.
Oh, yeah, we did Summerlin versus Henderson.
Yep.
And Henderson won resoundingly,
Yeah.
I guess. And then we also did viral. Have there been any new viral foods since that episode? I'm trying to think
Viral food.
what's gone off recently.
What's viral nowadays? Something that hits 1 mil? I mean, it has to go beyond that, right? 1 mil
Yeah,
is nothing nowadays.
multiple posts. Yeah, breaking a mill probably would
1
be.
mil?
If all of them do, yeah, I think so. Or several. So I guess it would be Drew's Burger Spot.
Yeah.
I don't know what else.
That's definitely the hot topic right now, for sure. His burger spot,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And then I don't know where else have you been eating recently? And we're good.
I have major love for Southeast Asian food. So I've been, hitting up all the spots. The newest one right now, the hottest one that I'm constantly craving, which I have not made out yet, is Nam Pang.
Oh yeah,
Cambodian
I've seen that.
restaurant. They have some items on the It's like a sandwich shop, but a Southeast Asian sandwich shop. So they have things like banh mi, but it's not a Vietnamese way. They do it more so their way with a Cambodian sauce. They make it their own. Very spicy. You can get really spicy levels there. There's also, my love for Let's Get Pho. I think that they're killing it out there in Vietnamese food.
Well, you're killing it. I mean, so people don't know, Tony is a major player in the social media management field, and you've blown up Let's Get Pho to more than any other Vietnamese spot has ever been blown up in Vegas. And then Lost Sweets as well, which you've completely...
Lost Sweets, another Vietnamese-owned sandwich shop, banh mi. Honestly, their product's great. To be honest, it's really hard to lie in post, I feel like, if the food's kind of flat. It just looks in presentation. It's really hard to sell something that's not good. But Let's Get Fuzz killing it. Their food's great.
But you've embraced a lot of things that a lot of restaurants have never done, whether it's more... You've ventured further into trendy, way more text than ever than probably 95% of the restaurants out there.
Basically, I just try what's working.
Yeah.
And if I see that people like it, I'm just going to lean hard into it until they don't like it anymore.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I will do risque stuff and sometimes have to reel it back in. But if I see that people like it, I'm going to keep doing the risque stuff.
And we got Las Vegas Riggs here. She's been on the podcast before. We did a Xiaolong Bao dumpling tasting, which is super awkward because of my fault, because I couldn't reheat anything correctly. How you been?
Good.
Yeah. Nice.
Good to be back.
Nice. If you don't mind sharing with me, both of you, your last Postmates order, if you could look it up on your phone.
Taj Palace, definitely.
Was it Taj Palace
Yes.
for sure? Okay, both
Wow.
of you?
Close to my house, and
No.
it's like my if I'm hungover, if I'm done traveling after a long day, it's just hits every single time.
Okay, what is your go-to dish at Taj?
Actually, I can look up the exact order. Probably.
I support Taj Palace. I think they're so good. But I actually do not Postmates and I do not Uber Eats. I do not do any of it.
No third-party delivery.
I don't do it. I cannot
Wow.
do it. I don't want to spend that extra money for
I
it.
gotcha.
For me, I'm like, you're just being lazy. Just go get the food. Just either you starve or you go get the food. So that's my mantra, and that's what I do. I just do not order from those apps at all.
Staying strong.
Yeah.
You're one of the few, I think.
I just have a hatred for it.
It was chicken korma, butter chicken masala, chicken samosa, sorry, and cheese garlic naan.
Nice. That is a solid order.
Not that exciting, but yeah.
No, that's good. My last one, I know what it was. It was either Q Bistro or Soyo.
I was much closer for Q Bistro. I would non-stop
Yeah.
be ordering them.
Tons of sundabu, kimbap, and pork belly for sure. Angel's with us as well. Angel, how do you feel about third-party delivery?
I feel like I want to be Tony on this, but I do use them.
All right, what was your last order or your go-to order?
I just checked. The last thing I ordered was Proper Sandwich Co.
Oh,
Blackened chicken sandwich with the crispy chicken skins.
nice. Well, glad they're still kicking around.
I think they're doing really good.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I don't have a topic.
We were told we were going to talk about hot takes.
We're going to talk about hot takes?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Has anyone fucked around with trials?
Yes.
Instagram trials?
No.
No? Any thoughts?
I've done it for a couple clients and they did pretty well. I think the idea of it is cool because it intentionally pushes out to people who are not following you. So
I think everyone should try it. It's basically like a free paid ad to a completely different audience. And while they're trying to kind of say you could try out new content that you're afraid to put on your page, I just putting out greatest hits instead. And some of them have blown up to over 500,000 or
But
more.
they're still on your page or no?
No. So I can add it to my page and it'll retroactively show up like, oh, this was posted 4 days ago, 5 days ago. But that's kind of what I've been doing. I put like 6 up and I just leave them going. And I think it's a good way, like if a restaurant's slumping, it might be a good way to throw up like 3 of the biggest hits just to see what happens.
Phil, do you scroll on TikTok or do you like post for clients?
TikTok would be the app I scroll on the least.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
wanted
YouTube.
to know if you felt like the algorithm was different since the ban.
Oh, I haven't noticed enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I still see news. Maybe more news. How about you guys?
I'm like you. I don't scroll as often.
Just post on TikTok. Where do you scroll?
Instagram.
Okay.
That's how I research. That's how I find my risque trends.
I feel like I'm not getting as many ads or like lives on my scrolls, but that's kind of the algorithm's the same. I'm still getting the same type of content, but
I did scroll today on lives, and everyone was on a treadmill. So, which is maybe a hint to me. But
Damn.
what the hell?
The shade is crazy to yourself. That's crazy.
But it was true. Everyone was on a fucking, the super small treadmills.
oh, the walking pads.
Yeah. And then there's, on top of that, they're selling a canister that they're drinking out of or whatever. But it was kind of wild. I don't know. Do you guys buy on TikTok a lot?
TikTok shop?
Yeah.
I did. Like during Christmas, I bought stuff that Margot posted. I'm like big on supporting people. So like if you like sell something, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. And I'm like, here's $2 or whatever
I
you
bought
get.
this from Ronnie's page.
Yeah. I bought martini glasses. I bought a hose. Like the ones that they like, this is weird. But the ones that like they like a
gardening?
water hose.
Gardening.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we should talk about the hot takes about.
No.
All right.
I don't really have a hot take.
Okay.
I do have a hot
You
take.
do.
Yeah, you told
Where's
us.
the
you had
camera?
Here.
If you repost people's like random people's stuff, I will not engage on it. Like if like you're a creator and like you just randomly like saw a viral post and you post it on your feed, I lose like a little respect for you and I won't like it.
Okay.
That's
I
all.
got that. What do you guys think
But have
about
you seen the engagement
borrowing
on that?
content?
I think they do good,
Yeah.
but I mean like
Yeah.
Like they remix.
That's so weird, like, you
something
could
and
do
added
good.
into
And I'm
it.
like,
just
what?
like
Yeah.
just fucking share it to your story. Like why are you that's so weird to like want likes and stuff that bad to like post something that you didn't make. I think that's crazy. Not like a restaurant, like go for it. Like if I went there and you like repost it, like awesome. But not like some unrelated viral post. I think that's weird. Hot take.
I feel like it's a strategy, though. I feel like because it performs well for them, that's why they're going to keep doing it. It's just
But
to
do
be
you
like,
do it?
No, I don't do it.
Why don't you do it?
I don't feel comfortable doing it. It's not
weird.
like my branding, I guess. And
Well, you've shot enough content to
absolutely
know what
yeah.
it's going to be like. All of you guys have. I don't think you need to borrow it. But we had talked on the previous episode about one particular creator who was borrowing all of our stuff because they didn't live here. Yeah, I agree with you. But there's a lot of people that have to do that. You look on YouTube, I have 300 videos of people borrowing my stuff for just 10% of the video.
I remember I sent you like when I first started this, I was like, hey, look. And it was like a Snapchat page and it was like featuring Phil's stuff. And I was like, this is so cool. And he's like, I didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, the headline was like, this man goes to the most expensive restaurants in Vegas or something. And they made a whole thing.
Yeah, and like people get paid off Snapchat, so they were making a buck off of you.
Right. But I stopped replying to like LAD Bible and all those guys that want to do a compilation, although it's a cool compilation, but they're making thousands off that.
I just say no.
Yeah, it's just better. And they put the credit for me like in the comments. It's so weird.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's like 10 seconds, maybe, but if you're like 3 or 5 seconds, I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much if they borrow some content, if it looks better overall. It's free. It's free to use, right? Specifically because you put it out there. I don't know. But I understand it's property. You did it. You put it
Yeah.
in work. I
I think
understand
it's
that.
just weird, like, oh, you're like a foodie page, and then you're like, oh yeah, look at this thing in Norway, and it has nothing to do about food, but it's like viral, and it's like, that's weird.
Yes. Like the rainstorms in Vegas like 2 years ago.
I
posting-
I posted
I'm
real
all about,
content.
yeah.
I was the street team for
I'm
that.
all about the news reporters on there.
Really?
Actually, not that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, that's my hot take. If you're a food account and you're posting weather, you might as well just be a meteorologist page. I'm
Not
sorry.
you shading Tony.
I am.
You are.
I am.
Team Tony.
I am. Not just you though. I mean,
You're
there was a
posting
lot.
well, so
a
that's
lot of
fine
people.
by
Yeah.
me. That's fine by me.
Okay, so what? I mean, would anything be off topic on a food page? Like you would post weather, you'd be okay.
I wouldn't just because I don't give a shit
Right.
about the weather, but
I think, okay, you're really good at this. On Threads, like, you don't put anything personal on your page. Like, and I like that. You're never, like, putting, like, your opinion on things or, like, current events. It's, like, strictly food. So then, like, on Threads, everybody's, like, trauma dumping and being emo. And then
And
feels
bitching about
like,
the algorithm.
yeah, and feels like, here's a lobster. And then, like, everyone else is like, oh, my engagement sucks. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be like Phil. But I don't do that.
Well, engagement bitching is important, I guess, for some people. And if it helps, if there's some good advice on the thread, then maybe it'll help them later. But I feel like a lot of people on there somehow believe their content is worthy of 5 million views, and then they blame something else because it can't be them. Of course it can't be them. That shit's amazing.
I feel like that's why I stopped going on Threads because the first like few posts I saw were people like complaining like, oh, my videos used to do so good and they're not doing good anymore. And then I would go and click and I'm like, this is the worst video I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah. Okay, you shot it wide. You know, I mean, was it iPhone 4? Yeah.
So, Phil, is your hot take that most people's content sucks?
Yes. Well, it's not worthy. It can always be better. You know, there's 100 ways to get to the same place. And it could be as little as the intro, the thumbnail, I mean, whatever caption you use. So there's always different ways you could go about it. So, you know, I like to revisit posts that didn't do as well for me and see maybe a year later if I could do it better, even with the
So
same
you
content.
like never delete content?
No, I have deleted some content before.
I'm like trying to steal your strategy. But I'm asking.
What it like? So yeah, I've definitely deleted content. There's been some that have totally bombed, for sure. Even paid ones, I'll take it down and redo it if it doesn't hit a certain number in an hour. I think. Yeah.
Angel, say your hot take that we talked about yesterday, the one about the reactions on camera. You eat.
Oh yeah, hot take. Nobody wants to see you eat on camera, unless you make a face after. People.
What's the face? Is it the O face?
The O face.
Well, they want to
it
see
the-
a genuine reaction, right? Like, people eat on camera. I'm guilty, and you like take a bite, and we're all like, but then it's like not genuine. Like people like Keith Lee because he like genuinely makes these faces that looks like he didn't like it or he loved it, and like I think that's what people want to see. So like if you're just like taking a bite, I don't think anybody wants to see that. And this is coming from someone who does that too. So
Okay, so the reaction is key more
the
than
reaction,
just the biting.
yeah. It's not like people don't want to see you eat it. They want to see if you react.
if you liked it, if
Yeah.
you hated
Thought
it.
about it.
How do you guys feel about eating on camera? And are there any, like, is there any advice they could give to someone that wants to go that way?
I think eating on camera is definitely an art because, you know, their whole mukbang and like how it's very appealing if you do it the right way. You know, it's very entertaining if you're doing it the right way. You know, it's an art, definite art about it. You know,
It's
there's
like
so many different things about how you're doing.
Invoking a reaction. It's like, oh, they made that look so good. Like
Yeah.
I want bulldog noodles, not like, you know.
Yeah, there's just the whole nodding thing.
Okay.
I do it too. I
Nodding
get
and
it.
saying
Yeah.
yes. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of people that love mukbang and will always love that. I mean, there's so many people that have made
Yeah, I love them
careers
too.
off the massive amounts
They're
of food
eating
that they're
it
eating.
right. You know,
Yeah.
they're making their lips are plump and like just they make it look good.
Okay. But yeah.
Plump your lips.
All right. I'll be more mindful of that, Angel.
You don't eat on camera.
Sometimes if I'm short on content and I feel like
No, you don't.
it's
eat
not
on
going to
camera.
reach, I do eat on camera sometimes.
Yeah.
What's up?
You don't. Like, you don't really show yourself. I think me and Anna were talking about this. Like, you don't show yourself really.
I try not to.
See?
Yeah. But if I'm short on content, I will. If I know, like, I don't have everything that I think I need for the video. Yeah. It's always a secondary thing.
Thanks for the tips.
Do you like your own posts? A lot of people don't.
No.
Why?
Corny to me.
I like every single one.
Yeah.
Love that.
I
Be your
save
own
it.
biggest fan. Yes. Yeah.
And it just IG, or do you not like your own Facebook posts as well? No?
None of
It's
them.
just a
I
thing.
don't know. Like, I put it out. I mean, obviously I like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it out. I don't
Right.
know.
But
I feel like Anna
corny-
doesn't
okay,
use
so
Facebook.
liking your own post is corny.
I think so.
Okay. A lot of people think that, I think.
I think you should like your own post.
I think you should.
Because if you don't like it, why should I like it?
It's a form
Then
of
why'd you
it's a
put it
form of
out?
self-love.
Touche.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What's been going on in your DMs recently?
I get a lot of like, ooh, I might send you this booty pic.
Oh yeah.
I got one. I was reading.
That lady's been killing it.
Last night with my husband, we were like, it was like, hi, handsome. I'm looking for a big, juicy. And I was like,
I must say that the
wild.
sex group chats have been
Yeah, they're a
over the
lot.
past 6 months have been out of control. Like, what do? You delete it? I try to leave everyone, but maybe leaving and blocking is the key. I don't know. We're just shooting up my podcast now. There's no topic. We just have some of my favorite creators here, like Lydia, Paul, and Sophia, food fan, over here, and we're just gonna chat, I guess, about
I love chatting.
YouTube.
I've always loved this flow format. We've done these maybe like twice before, where people kind of like switch off, and it's like I loved our Bel Air episode when we had the
That was
the backyard.
dating.
Kind of.
Aw, how cute!
Yeah, speed influencing.
I hope I get picked.
But yeah, looking out into everyone that was here, I was like, oh my God, I want to have everyone on, and we don't have enough time, and we're just kind of doing whatever. Because of the TikTok ban, or what was going to happen, Lydia was pushing everyone to sub to her YouTube channel, which all of you should.
Thank you.
You amassed what, 5K?
We're
subs?
over 6,200, much in part
Nice.
to all of my friends sharing me. So thank you to all my friends for blasting me out there into the interwebs. But yeah, I'm feeling very grateful. I'm also feeling very overwhelmed because this was my first time ever doing long form content. I've always done short form. I've done Instagram, TikTok, So this is my first time ever doing a video over 90 seconds. And I was like, it's the first video on YouTube. Nobody's really going to see it. I'm thinking maybe 3,000. And it's sitting right now at almost 25,000. And I'm like, oh my
Nice.
gosh, it was not good enough to be 25,000. I got to really prepare for my second video now. The pressure is on.
But a lot of people know who you are. I mean, in a lot of ways, you're like the liaison of the YouTube vloggers.
I'm a friend.
You've bridged gaps.
I'm a friend, yeah.
You've put Band-Aids over things. Maybe we shouldn't talk about here.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
So what was the plan if TikTok was going to go away? What was the plan for YouTube?
My plan, so I've been asked for YouTube for a while now, partly because, of course, I've come out on Norma Jelly's videos, Jaycation, Greta and Pomsey, Dan vs. World. So I've come out on a lot of videos. And so people are like, well, why don't you have your own YouTube? Well, a lot of people don't know that social media is not my full-time job. So I work events. Obviously, I create content here at JMPforce. So my own social media is not my own job, or not my only job. So when people would ask me for long-form content, I was like, oh my gosh, it takes so much time, I don't have the time. But with the TikTok ban looming, I was like, well, maybe I actually do have some time. So we're making time for it in 2025.
Yeah, I said I was going to do it in 2024, and I didn't. I put out 3 long format videos.
Hey,
That was it.
more than what I have so far, so there you go.
It was tough, but I think the easiest way is to talk in the camera, do like the TV show hosting. I think that's what people love
Yep.
on TikTok. Paul, you've gone into that as well. Your foray into some long format
YouTube?
stuff. Yeah, on YouTube.
Yes, it's the first time I've actually handed off one of my own accounts to be edited and produced by someone else, not on top of me, like other people that are helping out, producing it, thumbnailing it, posting it. So we have a whole thing going on. So I've been investing into that for like last couple of months. We've only done like a couple of episodes because of time issues and there's a lot of things that we're doing that's not YouTube with those same people. So that same production company has like stepped up and did a lot of our client work too because I needed that last minute. But originally they were hired to do my YouTube long format. I still do my shorts, you know, and that's how I got my subscribers. I think I'm sitting at like what 88,000,
Nice.
but
Which is crazy for only shorts.
I just had
honestly.
few lucky shorts that blew up that went like 48 million and another like almost 50 million or something like that. And I
That'll
think that was
do
like,
it.
and it was at the right time because we
Taco
all
Bell
jumped.
beer thing.
Yeah, the beer.
Yeah.
Zero editing. Oh, it still has the TikTok watermark on it because I just pulled it out.
Hey, great plug. Yeah.
And I just posted it and it just went wild. I'm like, oh, YouTube's great. This is
That's
good.
awesome.
That's when a lot of long format guys started hating the short format guys because we all jumped into shorts and we started gaining massive amounts of subscribers. And I understand it. But now I'm seeing the important, and, you know, if anything for me, what TikTok thing did, it changed nothing except put me in some type of like a motivation to do things, new things, you know, and diverse my efforts into other things more than ever. Because I was kind of at the same time going through some of this, like, you know, I have not been posting as much. I've been very low active because the agency is just so crazy right now, and it's everybody that's involved in this kind of know like what type of deal flow is coming in right now. It's crazy, and I have a new kid and all this kind of stuff, all the excuses in the world. So I was kind of, but this whole TikTok kind of like blew some type of like a wind in me where now I'm like, oh, and it kind of like makes it for me more exciting that something could go tomorrow. Not like in a sad way. I'm more excited. Like I'm like, fuck, this is wild. You know, like
Definitely in the minority.
we never. Yeah.
I wish I felt that way.
But I'm in the same position as Phil because I heard Phil go, well, if this goes to nothing and there's no social media anymore, I have that. I have this. I don't care if, and I've always had this attitude with my own agency too. We're 7 years into it, thank God, and everything's going more than my wildest dreams ever dreamed of. Okay, but I always run it like, if this shit goes fucking to zero tomorrow, I think we'll be okay. We have a great team. And I always like fall back to like umbrella. Like, if we were to fucking, and nothing happens tomorrow and we have to sell umbrellas, I think we'll be fucking really good umbrella selling company. You know, like that, you know, it's like, you know, like, we're the #1 fucking umbrella company in Vegas. This desert, no rain.
Hey, they also work for sun protection.
Yeah, it's
so.
like selling ice to igloo or ice to fucking Eskimo. Like that theory, I'm just like really confident that we can go crush things no matter what it is with the team that we have. But, you know, going back to my whole point, all that kind of gives me a little bit of kind of like excitement, you know, and then it's giving me some new energy that I was lacking for last year or so.
Gotcha. Sophia, how do you feel about where social media is now personally for you?
So I like to dabble in the world of paid advertising over organic. There's a lot of organic content makers out there, but sometimes you have a product that doesn't necessarily translate well in organic. And so for me, it's like finding a space, an audience to target in the paid advertising and, you know, create some sort of sales for them. But I think, you know, everything that happened with TikTok kind of made me like very grateful for where I am in paid advertising because like it seems to like stand the test of time because you can jump from different platforms. You can do ads on Google, you can do ads on YouTube, you can do ads on Facebook. There are so many opportunities there. And so, yeah, I think that everybody should at least invest a little bit into paid advertising, even if it's on their personal page.
Should paid advertising look more commercially? Is that important?
No, I think people kind of want things that look like I'm going to receive that same product. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, think of like McDonald's with like a burger that looks like, you know, over processed in the photo. And then that's not what you're receiving when you go there. So I think people want to know what they're getting into. Like I notice that a lot of like our restaurants, whenever we do some sort of like food porn video, those do better.
Commercially or not, I think the #1 thing that we've been successful with, and numbers show that you have to test it on the organic side first. I think the nature of a good ad is a company that tests the content on the organic side first and siphons all the battle-tested content that did well and only utilize those type of content or those content with a little bit of tweak to make it a little bit more salesy or more targeted to your, even if it's a Tomahawk video that blew up and you're trying to push French fries, you can use the Tomahawk video to twist it into a French fry promotion or something like that. I'd rather do that than hire a commercial company that makes the best French fry commercial for $10,000 and we just gamble without testing it on the organic side. I think that's where a lot of brands are missing the point. So they invest creating content for their commercial. It's never been tested. They fail.
Yeah, totally
and they
bombs
lose out
almost
on
every
it.
time.
You know what I mean? Every time. So salesy or not, you should test it on organic. Even if it's salesy, maybe it'll blow up and you can use that. Chances are the salesy videos don't blow up, you know?
True. Lydia, what's your experience been like joining Jump, and what do you do day to day here?
Yeah, what's that experience like? I'm just
No
kidding.
pressure. Paul's there, Julie's there, my two bosses.
No, a lot of people get this. Well, a lot of people get this. And you know what? You guys know me. I'm like, fuck, dude, let me know.
You know, I'm actually very thankful for Paul and Julie because when they approached me, I don't even remember when that was, like a year and a half ago, I told them straight up, I have a lot going on, so there's only so much I can do. And so they said, well, why don't we just give you one project at a time, and you can always tell us if it's too much or if you want more. And that has worked really well in the last year and a half, that I just kind of, I'm only on like a couple of projects, and that's perfect for me just because the fact, yet again, that this is not my only job. So I'm able to still dip my toe into it, still learn. Like, it's been awesome, honestly, being on shoots with like Jay and Tony and all these people that have been doing this full time for a long time. I feel like my content has elevated because I just sit there at content shoots now and I'm like, oh wait, I should try that. Oh wait, I should buy that light. Oh wait, so it's been good for me personally and my own content. I feel like I've been able to elevate myself since joining the JMPforce team. So that's been awesome.
Well, on the receiving end, our number one thing here is to scope out people who has potential and talent before the big curve of them becoming a superstar. By the time they become starfish, there's no way, you know, we're usually in a we're usually in a kind of like a begging situation with the most talented people out there to start working with us. We don't just hire entry-level people, you know. So one thing about Lydia is that it's like such a perfect person for us to approach because she's been the person behind the person for a long time before she even began to do her own thing. And that to me is a very valuable person. But the only thing about that is like whoever she is working with currently, are they going to mind that we just come out of nowhere and start giving her jobs and all this kind of stuff? And that was the only thing that we were very, very careful with. So this is why, hey, do you have time? Okay, I just need you to do this one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do this? And they're like, yeah, what are you talking about? So I'm like, okay, great. And then it's just kind of, that's how a lot of people start with us, by the way, because they're talented. So we go, oh, hey, so-and-so, we see that you're killing it. We have this project. But you don't have to talk to the client. That's our big thing is you don't have to talk to the client. You don't have to do anything. I just need you to do you on these 3 videos for this much money. Yes or no? Mm-hmm. And that's how, that's easy. And then they get to find out that we never ask them to like interact with clients too much. If it's production work, they only do production. There's separate people that handles all that. So they get kind of like do jobs and they go, oh, I can do 5 more of these. You know what I mean? And that's like,
Right.
I think that's how it.
And then all of a sudden I'm hooked.
Gateway drugs.
It's like selling drugs. You know what I mean? I'm like,
No, I'm selling umbrellas.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little taster. You want a little?
Come check out my trunk. See what I got.
So the paid posts have changed a lot, I think, for influencers, specifically in the last couple of years, maybe the last year. Like even, like my friends now, who I, like 2 years ago, they would just come in as a favor, but I feel bad asking for the favor now. Like I want to get them paid as well. And it's been tougher.
for posting on there, because our big thing now, well, now we have a lot of these events that we do, but before, like we never really had to like leverage people's accounts. So I never went to, I don't go to like Lydia and go, Lydia, I need you to post this on your account. Like we don't do that unless it's like an influencer event. So I think that was the big thing. But when people approach other people about production, like, hey, I need you to come to this client and make some videos with me, not post on your account, but make some videos. I think that's the number that people kind of get confused about. You know what I mean? How much do I have to pay my friend to make these videos and how much am I getting and all that kind of stuff. I think that's but you need to work that out, because if you want to grow, you have to have those relationships, you know. This is why we love people who are in the game, they're ready to jump in, they're talented, but they're just not there yet where they're making the money or something like that. There's a lot of creators that wants to be in this position, in that mode. And I think that's a perfect pool of people to kind of like really look into and really hone into, because those are going to be the superstars of the future. I feel like, you know, that's what we look at all the time. Who's coming up?
Are there any new accounts that you've enjoyed recently, Sophia? Doesn't have to be food.
I
Or
feel like
Vegas.
a lot of them are food, though.
Okay.
Well, we just started Mom's Refrigerator in 8182, and I think that's like a really cool account. You know, it's like little mom and pop shop, and I think like, you know, we've done like bigger accounts where like they have multiple locations or they're in many states or whatever, but I think what's cool is when you take a little mom and pop shop where like they're located somewhere maybe people don't know or wouldn't turn into that shopping center, and then kind of like giving that presence of being like, you know, it doesn't matter where you're located, like if you have some sort of product that people want, they're gonna come to you. And so it's like, you know, when we're doing the advertising, we're like, what kind of deal can we add to it, what kind of special dish that's not advertised on your menu or anywhere else, and then we could just show that it's only if you screenshot this and show it to us that you can order it. Just coming up with really cool concepts like that
That's
for
awesome.
the small restaurants.
It's been really great.
Good
It's
idea.
a punch-on store, but they hit 1 million views in like first couple posts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A new creator that I would like to shout out that just joined our agency after I think Lydia is Margot. Margot is crushing it, and she's really good with client work too.
Did
so
you
we've
see
been,
the
we've been
raw,
doing this.
the raw crabs?
Yep.
She handles
Palette.
moms.
And moms. Yeah.
She's the production person for
The
it.
perfect person.
So yeah, because you know she makes all that, and so you know stuff like that. But you know there's those deals, and then there's deals that takes a lot of, like we just took on like Southern Glacier Wine and Spirits. You know, like
Oh, wow.
like they're the entire Michaelina group. You know, these people are like expecting this to be like super on brand, perfect. I have to make sure that we're about to work with some movie names where every video has to go to the movie company first and get it approved and come back and stuff like that. And those become a lot more production work than Mom's Refrigerator, where you can kind of like do.
Well, nothing's shot on our phone for the movie stuff then, right?
No, you cannot use any movie footage on those, because it's like what we're doing are these experiences. So they're like Harry Potter experience and, you know, all these movie experiences. When you do that, there's like strict guidelines of those places not being able to use movie footage and all this kind of stuff. So
All the license.
yeah, so that's that. We've done all for Harry Potter in New York before, and that has led to kind of like land this new client. Shout out to a lot of people that referred us to. Shout out to Heather Collins. But you know, it's been good.
Do we want to talk about this?
Yeah.
or-
By the way,
What the fuck's going
this
on?
is my comfort zone.
I keep watching it.
This is my comfort zone.
So this is actually mine. So this is from
She's like, hand it
FAO
over.
Schwartz in New York. So people actually line up outside, and when you go there, you pick like a dish. You're like, I want ramen or I want pancakes, and they have like a fake kitchen. It's the
Oh,
Jellycat
yeah,
Diner.
it's like a blue-
They like cook the
my
dish. So they're like.
God.
So anyways, my boyfriend came back from New York, and he's like, I made you ramen, and I was like, thank you.
I
It's
always
like a
think about
Build-A-Bear,
those.
but
So this
for
is a
food?
custom one.
No,
Oh.
but they make it seem.
Oh, I
when
thought-
you're
I
there,
was
they're
like,
like,
it's like Build-A-Bear. I
Right.
was like, I'm
they're like,
down.
would you like an egg on it? Would you like some green onions? And then you're like, yeah, sure. So they're like cooking it for you.
No, like my big thing with that brand is like the interview process for the people, because they have to be very like
Personable.
animated. They're cooking fake food in front of you. Like, are
So there are no kids at this store. Like it's all adults who are there for content. Like they are there to shoot their content of whatever plushie they pick being cooked.
It's like blue theme, right?
Yeah.
When you go in there, that place looks sick.
That's so
I always
funny.
wanted to go there.
I've never seen this place. And
Oh,
now
you
I'm
got to
so
see it. It's
interested.
wild what they do. It's all about
Why
the
has this
presentation.
Jelly-
of
come up on my
Jellycat
For You
Diner.
page?
Jellycat.
Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
What do you watch? What are you watching right now? What's your
What do I watch?
What's your-
I consume a lot of TikTok content. But I also, so TikTok is like my fun place. And then Instagram is like where I go to research trends and what I should be doing and where I should be going. So when I'm on Instagram, I am working. When I'm on TikTok, I am laying back for the night with a cat normally on me and doom scrolling.
When you make a video, where do you post first? TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram. Instagram goes up normally 30 minutes to an hour before TikTok. And then if I post it to YouTube Shorts, that's the next morning. I want people to see it first on Instagram because Instagram is smaller for me than TikTok. So I'd like it to give it a little bit of a chance on Instagram first before everybody sees it on TikTok and then doesn't interact with it on Instagram.
What about you guys? Is there a timing to which app you choose to post on?
I've always been an Instagram person. I've
It's
never
Instagram.
like when we had the scare of TikTok going away. I'm like, you know what? To me, my person, I'm like, at least it's the app that I do the least. You know what I mean? Thank God. I mean, at least it's not YouTube killing me. You know, but like I've always been like, if I make the best video, I go to Instagram first. You know, what do you post TikTok first?
Sometimes.
Wait, where do you have more followers?
A little bit more on TikTok.
But you care. I mean, what's the care level? Can I say that? What do you?
I
where
would
do you
rather
put your
have a
video?
million views on TikTok than Instagram.
That is true. But would you rather have million followers on TikTok than Instagram?
It's a good question. For me,
I think I'd rather have
I'd
a
rather have
million followers on.
subs on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
than
for real.
Facts.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hold on. If you say that, that's so big that people should be spending a lot more time on YouTube than they are. Because if that's the case,
Well, you're talking about short form, but I think a lot of people spend a lot of time on YouTube just in
long
general.
format. But
than
it's a
anyone.
long format crawl is so slow.
Yeah.
Like for you to hit 1 million subs doing long format, I feel like is a
But there's way more
grind.
But you compare a 50 sub long format account versus a 300K short format account. The 50K
is going to
way more valuable.
outperform
Yeah.
or more
And makes way more money.
valuable.
That's so true.
Yeah.
What's valuable mean though? It pays more money?
For me, it's all about brand deals. So for me, one of the reasons I prioritize Instagram is because I get more brand deals based on my Instagram, even though I have a third as many followers. So on Instagram right now, I have 21. On TikTok, I have 65. But I get more people reach out to post on Instagram than I do on TikTok, even though my views
Agreed.
are better than
That's
on
true.
TikTok, everything.
Well,
That's
that's
interesting. That's interesting.
That's why I that's part
But
of the
I feel
reason
like there's a
prioritize.
threshold where you hit on TikTok where the brand deals flip over to TikTok more than there's like a threshold as soon as you
Yeah,
hit
possibly.
a thing. Okay, but on YouTube, if you were to grow YouTube, do you care about the YouTube CPM more than the brand deals, or do you care about the brand deals more than the CPM that YouTube pays on long format? Because I think a lot of people care about the YouTube money when you do YouTube long format, no?
Yeah, I would agree with
But
that.
the brand deals on, I mean, it's a sure thing on YouTube. There's not.
You think it's like 50-50?
No, I think they always care about getting paid
CPMs.
more the CPM for sure. But I mean, some of these
That
deals
YouTube long format money
within the
good.
long formats are big.
And I think Facebook money is good, right?
Yeah, see, that is something I don't know anything about.
yeah, I don't know shit about Facebook
Nope.
either. I
No.
have.
What about
I
LinkedIn? You guys
should.
do LinkedIn?
I did for like 2 weeks, and then I,
I think
was
that's
over
where
it.
we need to go. Is LinkedIn and invest a
Don't
little
put
bit
me
of
on
a.
that project. Julie, I'm not going on that project.
I've been pitching it a little bit. That has come up when we thought TikTok was going to grow. There was a day where, because our stance on TikTok with all the clients, there were so many TikTok clients doing TikTok, we just go, let's stand by and see what happens before we make any drastic. Because if you want us to do something else because you think TikTok is going away, although, like even the minute that TikTok, you can't log in anymore or whatever, I'm like, that's still, I'm like, chill out, everybody. Just stand still. Because if we start moving production people to doing other platforms, like we might have to change a person doing from TikTok to, if you want to do YouTube tomorrow, I might have to use another person then, you know what I mean? So before we do that and having to come back to TikTok, or you have to pay more to do both, let's just chill back. And I think that worked out for us. But
Have
I don't
any of you
know.
guys posted any of your food videos on Snapchat?
I haven't logged into Snapchat since 2020.
So I've heard like a lot of people who are posting their videos on there now and doing like very well.
Does
I've
any
heard
of
that
us
too.
in our industry in Vegas do Snapchat and crushes it?
I feel like we should look
I don't
into
know.
I feel like somebody was,
yeah.
like, you know
I'd
what?
love to
Somebody
know.
reached out about some Snapchat opportunity where they were gonna like
Oh, the Food
post.
Ranger.
Yeah.
I got that too.
Yeah.
So the Food
And you
Ranger
know what?
has an
Somebody signed up
agency.
saying that they made a lot of money doing that.
Yeah, so the plan was they would post all your content. It would be a 50-50 split
Yes.
on the money that you would make.
Because
You
like
didn't-
Snapchat was giving out a
didn't have
lot
to
of
look
money
at
or
it.
something like that, and they were like approaching everybody that has a lot of short format videos that blew up, saying, "Hey, we'll manage your Snapchat,"
Yeah.
and it's a 50-50 split.
But both Drew and Starfish said no, and I
50-50
either said
split
no
is
or-
it's pretty hefty. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but then you could
hefty.
just do it.
But of
But you
course,
don't
I'm
have
not
to
doing
worry
anything
about
with
it,
it,
right?
so-
Right. It's like you're not doing.
Even if you give me 10%, it's more than what I'm making
right.
now, I guess.
So like,
Right.
how much is that? If it's a lot, then
true.
you know. But yeah, I mean, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all came up, but we're staying still with the TikTok.
Sophia, as a professional, do you use LinkedIn, and has it been beneficial for you at all?
I log on like maybe like once a month just to see like who's leaving a message there, but that's it. I'm not scrolling through it at all.
So I posted for 2 weeks, and the plan was to like talk about brand sponsorships and like things that have done well for me on social media, like give advice, talk about why this worked for me, and that kind of thing, like strategy. That was the plan, but I got tired of doing it. So I didn't want to give away more secrets, I guess.
You were like, dang, this is a lot of
Like
freebies
it's
here.
a lot of wasted energy giving out my secrets.
At the end of the
For 20
day,
thumbs up.
at the end of the day, there are so many platforms that are out there, and I think it's just a matter of like figuring out each person has a unique following on each platform, and it's like figuring out what is worth your time. And
Yep.
and you know, worth is different for everybody. It might be more money, or it might be more views, or whatever it is. For me, I got a lot of money during Instagram's rollout of Reels, and so like I felt like that created brand loyalty for me to like stay on this platform
Gotcha.
while I was making 6 cents a month on TikTok. So that's why I like Instagram.
Sophia also has. She works with us. She's single-handedly like spearheads the entire ads department for us, but she also has a really solid executive job at Fountain.
Yeah.
We're just lucky that we have our time. But like, do you really need to double down on anything right now when you have like everybody has something really
Right.
solid, you know? And it's kind of like crazy to hear. I'm like, Lydia's like, this is not the only thing I do. I do like 3 other things. I'm like, oh shit. I have all my eggs basket.
The assumption that they're not free at 2 p.m. to have lunch is so weird.
So weird.
I think I was very much raised in like a hustle mentality. And so that's like always been. So like my parents told us from a very young age, you are going to put yourself through college. And that was like literally the best thing
Wow.
ever for me, honestly. People are like, what? Your parents didn't pay for college? I'm like, that was the best thing ever because I learned at 14 years old, you better start hustling right now. And I think that's one of the reasons that I'm so driven now and why I do like 10 million things and I never sit at home is because I'm like, I'm always on that hustle. So I'm still waiting to become a millionaire, but it's going to happen someday.
That's awesome.
Soon.
someday.
So how many siblings do you have?
I have 2. I have an older brother and a little sister.
And they both went to college too.
They did. We all paid it.
So what kind of hustle were you doing at 14?
At 14, I got my first job in summers. I worked at a gladiola farm. It's a type of flower. Not many people know what a gladiola is. So in the summers, I did that. I started babysitting. I applied really hard to scholarships, so I was really blessed that I was able to get some really good scholarships. That's one of the reasons I met my now husband. It's because we were in the same honors program in college.
Shout out to Andrew.
Shout out to Andrew, who actually I have to pick up from work in like 2 minutes. So
Beast
I gotta
Games,
go.
who also is in
but-
Beast Games.
Yes. Well,
That's right.
Yeah.
I did.
Was.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I better go pick him up.
Okay. Bye, Lydia.
Bye.
And then
Just Photoshop me
all
here.
the YouTubers disappeared. She's gone.
Photoshop my face right there.
By the way, I was looking at the Beast Games thing, and I'm like, man, it's like one of these show ideas that I had for our agency to do some kind of like a YouTube thing. And it's kind of like something that they do in Korea a lot, where all these A-listers in Korea, they actually come out and do these like game shows.
The game
and,
shows,
like,
Physical 100, the chef thing was incredible.
Not even that. Like if you watch K-drama, there's a thing called like Uchasan. Like there's these things. They're kind of like a game show. There's a host,
Yeah.
and all the famous people come out and they do this. And it'll be great to do that for Vegas creators here and produce that.
Someone had
It has nothing to do with any food or any kind of
a couple guys
content.
proposed that.
Just like minute to minute shit style, start from there and just move on. Where
Yeah.
it's like an elimination process. And I was like,
I know
about
Dan
that.
and Feeds had a proposal for Netflix for that.
I was like, man, I would be great to do something like on our own. And if it gets fucking picked up from somewhere, great. But we can produce that.
Yeah. The
very
Korean
easily.
ones have been incredible. The influencer one was
Dude.
incredible.
Amazing.
The
And I think that's
recent chef
Beast
one.
Game's whole like strategy there is kind of like similar to that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like a glorified Squid Game style. Like, I think it's something there, or something kind of like a strategy that has nothing to do with content or like creator. It's just that it's us, but we play these games.
Sure. As long as someone cries, it's fine.
It gets me
It gets emotional.
a lot of fucking tea. But
I think that's it. I have to go.
where are we? Like, where are we with the shoot? Does your audience even know that this is our headshot day? This is why everybody's here.
I introed it a little, but I don't know who was watching.
I'm sure that the group
Yeah.
shot was done. I think the headshot. Did you take a headshot?
I did. I was the first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Julie said I should go
OG.
first.
Okay, number one.
Because I'd be sitting here most of the
Priority.
time.
All right.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a jacket.
This is because I would never wear this. I'm never in this, but this is because of photos. But all right, let's
All right.
do this. Wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.